Religion was really intertwined with everything in the ancient Middle East. It was intertwined with family life, with politics, and certainly with law. The king had a mandate from the gods to establish justice in his land. The idea was that the gods would give the king wisdom, and then it was up to the king to issue good rules, good laws, and good judgments when he ruled on disputes. Now, we don't know to what extent the king actually did these things, but it was certainly part of the rhetoric to say that the king was involved in doing what the gods wanted him to do, and that meant caring for the poor and helpless and trying to make sure justice was being practiced in his society. That was part of how religion influenced the law. We also see religion showing up in the Bible, of course, because you have laws that are said to have been given by the God himself. That's different from what we see in other parts of the ancient Middle East, where the king is the lawgiver and not the god or the gods. So religion was important for lawgiving. It certainly was important for legitimizing the rules. People believed that within their kingdom, their king was supposed to be a just king, as I said, but they also believed that society was supposed to be ordered according to what the gods wanted. So they believed that their societies followed divine order. They had to sort of trust their king to be doing this and making sure this was happening. But they believed that outside of their realms, chaos reigned, and you didn't want to be caught outside the realm without some protection, because the people out there and in other societies were probably not following the kind of divine order that you believed your society was following. So yes, the gods, belief in the gods and belief in the idea that the gods had a will or a plan for society was important to justify not only the king's reign, but also the king's rules and how he wanted society to be ordered and to operate. When it comes to biblical texts and biblical rules, yes, they believe that the rules were given by the God, but there is some tension between two different perspectives that show up in the Bible. One perspective says you have to do whatever the God says simply because the God says it. The other perspective says our God gives us laws that are good because he wants us to operate in a way that is consistent with goodness and what is right and with justice. And our laws are so good that other nations will look at us and they'll be able to recognize, by exercising their reason, that our laws are better than theirs because ours are more aligned with what is good and what is just and what is right. So the question almost sounds like what Plato talks about when he talks about what we call Euthyphro's dilemma. Is the good good because the gods say so, or do the gods say certain things because those things are good? Can you use human reason to discern what is good, or do you just have to wait until the God tells you what is good? And so it seems to be the case that people in ancient Israel were trying to think about this important philosophical question, and we deal with it some today. Is there some kind of higher standard, some kind of morality that we should be trying to align ourselves with? Or should we just try to figure out what works the best for our society and create laws in line with that? So I think what you find in the ancient Middle East is, yes, religion is used to try to legitimize the powers that be and the laws that they are saying everyone has to follow. But there's also this idea that there is a kind of goodness, a kind of rightness that exists on its own. And part of what society should be doing is trying to figure out what that goodness and rightness is and trying to order their society in line with that.